Well, it's 7 a.m. here on the East Coast. And Ashley, what time is it right now where you are?
Just gone midday.
Oh, so yeah. I guess you get the last laugh here, I'm guessing.
No, if it was like evening time, I'd say that'd be more of the last laugh.
Okay.
Because, having to get up at sort of 6:30 to prepare, get food and whatever to make sure I was ready for 7,
Right.
that's a bit earlier than I normally go because of all this American stuff.
Well, the fun thing about this is that I ran last night and then I had dinner and then I went to bed, which I know is a big no-no. But and then I woke up and then it was 3:05 in the morning.
Oh.
So yeah, that happened. I wanted to set an alarm. My body was like, "Nope, you're sleeping now." I'm also fighting off illness right now, which of course you probably can tell by my voice. But yeah, obviously, when it comes down to it, we've been straying away a little bit away from live coverage of wrestling content here on this network. We've been doing a lot of post shows, and we've just not done any shows in general and some stuff. Ashley's been the one that's been covering all the wrestling content. This is the time each year that I actually want to talk because this is actually what I care about.
At the minute,
Yeah.
they all leave to go to All Elite. You'll be like, yeah, fuck you, New Japan.
No, I'm not a bandwagon jumper. I never have been. I like what I like, and that's just how it is. And we definitely see a new era has started for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and today is exactly what started it.
Not just because the Emperor's retiring.
Yeah, exactly.
Like an actual, Harold sinking his teeth. His vampire-like teeth. Although, it will be said, he was actually on the door handing out free stickers to, people today.
Well, it did say something about the fact that you could tell this is. Oh, this was something I saw in a chat that I was looking at. It said Harold May is going to not turn New Japan Pro Wrestling into WWE Light. And this was a way to prove that.
What, by doing a WWE show?
Yeah. The only thing the weird thing about that is the only thing that was WWE about this show was the length.
I don't know. Some of the matches felt a little WWE-ish in style. Not as WWE as they would be because they don't stranglehold them as much as they do in the E.
Right.
But I don't know. It's certainly more westernized than it's ever been.
It kind of has to be, especially when you're starting the G1 in Dallas, Texas, of all places.
Yeah, should we go in order?
Let's do it.
So we started off with the pre-show gauntlet match.
Right.
To determine who challenges Ishimori and the Gorillas. Maybe I'll fuck, but apparently, Tama Tonga's changed, so they might be the Gorillas of Destiny now.
Techno Team 3009.
The team managed by Seven from WCW.
The Red Hood and Nightwing. The Robin tag team.
Whatever the two robots were in Bumblebee. We'll get to them.
Lasertron. Lasertron. Do not let me forget that one. Lasertron tag team 2019.
So we started off with the Elite. Marty's music playing. With him, Yajiro, with Peter, of course, and Hangman Page, with Chase Owens in tow. First taking on Yuji Nagata, Jeff Cobb, and David Finlay. And this was a nice little start. But the interesting thing is what happened by the end. Because Finlay hits an Uranagi, Owens trips him up, but then Yujiro accidentally crashes into Chase, allowing Finlay to roll up Yujiro and get the first fall.
So when I said the other night in the predictions that the Elite were going to win, what I should have said was there is one way to go. There's two ways to go with this. They're either going to win or they're going to get eliminated first. And they got eliminated first.
And teased dissension in the ranks as well.
Yep.
Because Chase was like, I'm done with these guys. But it was more as if they were unhappy with Paige. Which might be, too much of the All Elite thing coming through. Maybe.
It's possible.
So next in was Chaos of the Best Friends and Goto. Nice little bit. The moral of the story: Chuck Taylor should never do aerial stuff because he went for a top rope moonsault and Finlay rolled him up. So yet another win for Finlay.
And another roll up for Finlay too.
Yeah. Next came Suzuki-gun. And it was weird only hearing Kaze Ninore on the pre-show. Disgusting. Suzuki-gun attacked before the bell and whatever. There were some nice bits between Suzuki and Nagata and Suzuki. Oh yeah, Suzuki and Nagata for this bit, I should say. But eventually, it was the killer bomb on Finlay from the KES and Suzuki-gun progress on to take on Taguchi, Makabe, and Yano. Taguchi was dressed in rugby attire because he is super pumped for the Rugby World Cup coming to Japan later this year. There was a nice little bit between Suzuki and Makabe as well. Some more sort of stiff stuff. But yeah, the really interesting thing is Taguchi hit Minoru with like a hip attack to the stomach, and Suzuki actually bothered to sell. It's like, what? Suzuki never sells. What is this madness?
You must like Taguchi. Down deep.
And then, because the referee was distracted, Yano hits Davey Boy in the dick, rolls him up, and Yano, Makabe, and Taguchi take on Bullet Club tomorrow for the 6-man tag titles at the Dash.
Well, it's interesting because didn't we see earlier this week that Davey Boy Smith Jr. just got signed with MLW?
Oh, God, did he?
I'm pretty sure I saw that.
We don't need any more members of the Hart family ruin that company. Because I'm not a fan of Teddy. Pillman, yes.
I'm very happy. Very obviously being
Pillman,
as big a fan of
Pillman's young has got potential. Teddy's burned so many bridges. He put Seth Rollins to shame in terms of burning it down.
Accurate.
So then Kevin was teasing about announcements coming, and I'm going, wait, don't they normally do the announcements midway through the show? More proof that it's a new era. We're doing the video packages before the show's even started. So they sort of do a recap of the big moments of the year. And then it's time to run through the upcoming calendar. Notice I didn't say for the next 6 months, because this is where it got crazy. So, actually, the best thing I can do is go to the New Japan YouTube channel and sort of do sort of a commentary on it as they announced it. If I can actually find the clip from a few hours ago, because as soon as they announced it, they put the video up for it immediately, at least on the Japanese YouTube channel for them. So, there's no such thing as a perfect. God, thanks, Grammarly. I'm not using your service. Can I skip it, please? Thank you. So the rundown, some of which we already knew because we ran through it on Tuesday with what they had. So they're doing 2 nights in Sapporo, Hokkaido, February 2nd and 3rd. And then a couple of weeks after that, the week after, February 11th, New Beginning in Osaka. The New Japan Cup will be, by the looks of it, over 2 nights in Niigata on March 23rd and 24th. Then New Japan heads to New York for the G1 Supercard on April 6th. Then the usual 420 show, which I think is the anniversary show, not sure, in Aichi. Then the Fukuoka doubleheader, May 3rd and 4th. Then Dominion will be June 9th in Osaka, as it usually is. And then we come to the G1 Climax, because for the first time ever, the G1 begins in America. And I don't mean like G1 special like it's been for the past couple of years. I mean the first night of the G1 Climax is happening at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas on July 6th. I question this because at least when WWE has gone to town there, nobody's really paid attention to wrestling there. Especially with all the kerfuffle over the WrestleMania when hardly anybody could get in because of the bloody security shit that they had there.
I'm so glad I did not have to deal with that when I went to WrestleMania.
So yeah, it's starting in America Saturday. That's a Saturday, by the way, July 6th. Then they do go actually back to Japan. In Otaku for July 13th and 14th, they're doing a doubleheader. And July 15th in Hokkaido. And then the finals are going to be back at Budokan Hall again after the success of last year. 3 straight nights, so it'll be the closing of Block A and B, and then the G1 finals on the 12th. Then, this is when it really got crazy, if it didn't already. New Japan are doing their own pay-per-view thing, whatever you want to call it, in the UK. August 31st, which I believe is a Friday night. So it'll be actually after the bank holiday. So, yeah, they're going to be running the Copper Box Arena, which was where the basketball was held at the Olympics. and it's not as big an arena as like the O2 or anything like that, but it's still probably on a scale with probably Wembley Arena, but they probably can't get that because WWE contract. So the Copper Box is an interesting alternative.
I got a feeling the Rev Pro heavyweight title match is going to be a lot higher on that card.
Probably depends what they do with it though,
This
because
is a good point.
that will be the first show after G1, at least from what we know. They didn't really announce any of the rest of the shows beyond Dominion in Japan. They're like Power Struggle or King of Pro Wrestling, like they have like September, October, November time-ish. So we've still got to work. We've still got to establish what's going on there. But then, in addition, Best of the Super Juniors that's going on throughout the early part of May and June. They announced that the finals for Best of the Super Junior 26 are actually the 25th anniversary, obviously, because, you know, the first one was 25 years ago. The finals will actually be taking place at Sumo Hall. I think for the first time in maybe a while.
Ash, I want to ask you your opinion on something.
Go ahead.
What are the chances of Pac being in the Super Juniors this year?
Well, considering that, depending what contract he's on,
Right.
you never know. But considering how Dragon Gate lost one of their big stars to them in Shingo,
Yeah. Need the
it might
champion.
be a case of nope.
Fair point.
In all honesty. But as I say, it depends what contract he's on as to what goes on there. And then we go to 2020, and I'm going, why are we going this far? And then it's like, oh, we're announcing Wrestle Kingdom 14 is happening January 4th, 2020 at the Tokyo Dome. And I'm going, that isn't really news. And then they go, and then the New Year's Dash will be on January 5th. And then the screen goes black. And then a heartbeat comes on, and we're going, is this fucking PCO? Except then, and then it says, "Are you ready?" And I'm going, "What is this DX? Has WWE bought New Japan?" And then, no, the actual reveal is Wrestle Kingdom. By the looks of it, is now going to be a 2-day event. January 4th and January 5th are going to be Wrestle Kingdom 14, basically. So I don't know whether that means they're getting rid of the New Year Dash, which is a shame, because the New Year Dash feels like a much more intimate sort of show
Yeah,
where a
totally.
lot of crazy stuff can happen. I hope the Dash isn't got rid of. I hope the Dash moves to the 6th.
Probably.
But yeah, this again shows that it is a new era because they're just doing everything. To be honest, I was a little speechless after that because I was like, that's crazy. Because, if the numbers really don't do well for them internationally, depending who they have and who they push, it'll just be an interesting factor. If, because certain names like Kenny and the Elite aren't there, are people gonna bother going? That is my concern. I'm hoping people are less fickle than that, but if it comes to the fact that they're struggling to fill places, because all these people that have booked their tickets for the other shows, the Oh, that was the other thing as well, that they didn't announce until like in the show. But due to the success of the sellouts in where's the first one? Is it San Fran again?
Mm-hmm.
And then North Carolina. They're adding a third show that weekend in Nashville, Tennessee.
That's a really weird market.
I guess because I guess that's a Don Callis pulling the strings there.
Probably.
Impact Wrestling is going to be part of New Japan. It's like, which to be honest may make sense considering how there really hasn't been a lot of all pro wrestling Noah talent that's actually been used
Well,
recently.
think about it though. Remember, Wrestle Kingdom's previous were run with the help of Jeff Jarrett and Impact.
Where's my fucking gold, Jeff?
So, I mean, there is precedence that Impact has worked together with New Japan for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, and I don't know how much Jeff Jarrett was involved in Fight TV getting the streaming capabilities for the show. Did you enjoy it, Mr. Entertainment? Did you enjoy it?
Well, the thing about it is that the best thing that possibly could happen right now for All Elite is to develop a lot of olive branches.
Yeah, but the thing is, are the other people going to bite?
We don't know.
Because Ring of Honor are clearly going to see it as a rival.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So nothing's going to happen there. Given how ludicrous they're going with the international expansion, New Japan might see it as a rival. Impact might see it as a rival because not Sinclair, but the Anthem don't know the scale of their company anymore.
I would say the best thing they could possibly do at oh my God, the best thing they could possibly do at this point is they need to work with Impact.
Which would be crazy.
Yeah.
Because I don't know whether that would be good for Impact or bad for AEW.
Dang. I'm currently watching Kota Ibushi and Will Ospreay.
Oh, he's catching up on that. Yeah, he missed that, everybody. So
Had some issues with my stream.
I have to stall for like 20 minutes so he would watch the rest of the match.
No, I'm you're good.
I guess the first thing that we might as well mention, even though it's sort of spoilers for the entire show, every single title changed hands on this show, as if again to more epitomize that it's a new era. Every single belt got dropped to somebody else. Which I think that's the first time that's happened. There's been some near clean sweeps in previous Wrestle Kingdoms, but never a full one, at least from my memory. Which is interesting enough. The more interesting thing is they actually dared to open with Ibushi versus Ospreay.
Yeah.
Because although these guys are known for their flippy shit, and to some extent did it in the match, this was much more physical than I dared think it would be. They, the never open weight thing is known to be sort of like the Hoss fight title, and both of these guys really delivered a Hoss fight.
Yeah, to say the least.
Owen can attest to because he's catching the replay of it now.
I see Ospreay broke his nose too.
Ibushi busted himself open pretty badly as well.
Yeah.
That was a weird image at the end. A lot of stiff shots, a lot of I did like the thing that there was a big joke going on with the Twitter handle of Ibushi's neck and the Twitter handle of Ospreay's neck having a go at each other, like you're gonna get hurt more. No, you're gonna get hurt more. It's just like, Ibushi as well hitting a Bomaye / Kinshasa. Apparently, Mega Man was the inspiration for many wrestlers on this show. Steal somebody else's finisher.
We have comments in chat real quick.
Oh,
Denjo Wim, welcome. Anthem is still a partner of Impact? Yes.
yeah, it never left.
No.
Never left. I can't even remember. I can't remember the name of the bloke in charge. Ed.
Finisher of
Something.
Ibushi and Ospreay what was before the Stormbreaker running back elbow to the back of the head? It was like a rolling elbow, so like a charging rolling elbow.
Whoa, hang on, which Stormbreaker are we talking about?
The finish.
Well, we had the top rope Stormbreaker.
Oh, here it is. Hold on.
Or sorry, a tease of it. Ibushi did the double stomp on top of him.
I saw that. That was nice.
I had the German off the second rope that Ospreay escaped, hit the Robinson special.
Yep.
Ibushi blocked the Oz cutter, hit the German. Then Ibushi followed it up with the wrist control, the Kamigoye. Ospreay escaped, hit a lariat that Stan Hansen would be proud of. And then Ibushi followed that up with a spike package pile driver that looked near brutal. Then Ospreay smacked Ibushi on the back of the head with an elbow that just looked brutal. And Ospreay picked up what looked like the corpse of bloody Ibushi, gave him the Stormbreaker, and Ospreay wins. Ibushi gets taken out on a stretcher.
Oh, God.
It looked enough to be an angle rather than actually real.
It was a very stiff, like reverse swinging elbow to the back of the neck.
Yeah.
I just saw the finish. Good Lord.
18
minutes. Stormbreaker, and there's the finish.
18 minutes, one of the actual longer matches on the card, and they stuck it at the beginning.
And then Ibushi does the stretcher job at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But to play up the fact, he didn't accompany Kenny to the ring in the main event, so I guess we'll see. Did we get any updates during the show?
If he's in, quote, kayfabe of any fit state to compete tomorrow.
Right.
Dash. So then we transition, because there was no breaks, because this is a WWE show.
And there was, did I miss something? Where there was no intermission either.
No, well, there wasn't last year either, was there?
No.
I guess you can't remember because it's 12 months ago. I caught up with it over the last couple of days to sort of get stuff in mind. And
Denjo Wim wants to know if Ospreay has used that back elbow before.
Not to that extent, but yes. Not to where it looked like it's killed a man. Because it sometimes when you need to get the win, you need to make it a win. Quoting the god that is Titus there.
Odd.
Well, you know, voice of God. If bloody Don Callis can say it, then
This is true.
you know I can say whatever the shit I want, and apparently it's true. Um, so next up, the Triple Threat Junior Tag Belt match with Sho and Yo out first, then Shingo and Bushi, and then the champs Kanemaru and El Desperado. This went only like 7 minutes, so this was just spot, 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 spot.
Yeah, pretty much.
It sort of did feel like we've got only 4 hours to do this show. We're having to give you this because the main events are going longer and we're doing a shorter show than usual. You know, unsurprisingly, Suzuki Gun jumped everybody before the bell. Dies from a pongi to the floor quite a bit. Shingo got a pair of pumping bombers on Sho for a near fall. Then Bushi dived out onto Yo on the floor, taking him out. And then Shingo hits Sho with Lasso the Dragon. Got the pin. Admittedly, again, just like in a future match, not pinning the champions.
Yep.
And LIJ win title number 1.
Keep that in mind. Not pinning the champions means that well, by way of thinking that the champions have a right to say, well, you never beat us, so there's another match down the line.
Well, certainly more so with Kanemaru and El Desperado.
Yeah, definitely.
So then Ishii and Zack Sabre Jr. for the Rev Pro British Heavyweight title, of which the new design did actually look far better than the old design.
Agreed.
I think, you know, that's pretty fair. Basically, it was a British style wrestling match.
It was really good back and forth, too.
A lot of technical stuff. A lot of sort of crazy hard hitting stuff. But the big thing is Ishii's arms kept getting worked on all the time by Sabre, basically throwing the lariat and the brainbuster out of Ishii's playbook. And it did actually, there was a lot of submission holds throughout, but it did actually go to a submission overall, an octopus hold from what I remember, that then transitioned into a double arm octopus.
Yeah, it was an octopus with double trap.
And Ishii basically had to verbally say, I quit, pretty much. So per that, apparently, I mean, okay, he didn't make him tap in 60 seconds, but according to the press conference, that now means that he's going to get a knighthood but refuse it, solve Brexit, then come to Japan and solve the whaling issue, and I guess throw the old heavyweight title in the bin. But with respect, didn't they do that already? And it's like, you know, after seeing how actual good the new title looks, thank God the old one's in the bin. And I guess that means Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be the face of Free Sports TV for the next couple of months, maybe. I don't know whether Zack's. I guess it's too. Yeah, because it's Saturday, there wouldn't be enough time for Zack to be part of the cockpit shows that are happening this weekend. But I think they've got another big show like coming up in February, so I expect something coming there with the news. Then the Triple Threat Senior tag titles, the IWGP proper tag titles, no juniors here. Well, I guess former juniors. So this was the Young Bucks out first, then Evil and Sonada, and then the champs. Sarge and Caboose from Red versus Blue.
So many references we've already made about this.
Accompanied by Bad Luck Fale and fucking Festa. Yardo, never do whiteface.
No.
Because it doesn't suit you. We immediately knew that the Young Bucks weren't going to win sort of towards the end because they super kicked the Booker.
Yep.
It's like, well, you do that, you're gone. And the big thing is, just like the last one, Evil and Sonada win by pinning the Bucks, not the champions.
They went with the Magic Killer and then Sonata's moonsault off the top.
Yeah.
His Muda-esque moonsault. I do like the idea that in this match, when the sharpshooter was locked on, the Gorillas were going to try to disrupt it, but they're like, no, New Year. I'm a good guy. So Tonga's like, nope, not gonna let that happen. So he just basically stood there and watched it happen.
But no, it was interesting because Farley was trying to stop Gato getting involved.
Right.
As if the Tongans are actually trying to, the Tongans and Farley, because apparently he's made in Japan. I guess are trying to be good guys now.
Well, they do have that Bullet Club party that they're throwing, the Bullet Club block party. So, I mean, maybe they're trying to endear themselves.
In America, yeah. But
yeah.
It's as if they were trying to sort of be like the faces as well to the Japanese fans.
I can see that.
In which case, this was face versus face versus face.
Yep.
Which was a bit weird.
But real quick, some messages in chat.
No problem.
Denjay says, is it awkward if I say I was glad Okada was back in the shorts and the blonde hair? No.
It was just weird. It was like when Okada was in the trousers for the first time. It was weird.
Right.
You had to get used to it. It's sort of like the reverse effect. It's like, oh, this is back. This seems weird, even though this is what it was like 2.5 years ago.
Well, Matt says Wrestle Kingdom 13 was amazing. Denjo says it was the night for LIJ. I really have to ask, did Tama Tonga take some drugs before he came out?
No, he's just high on life. I mean, he was there with a kid at the party that they had last night for, I guess, their sponsors. I'm wondering whether it was the sponsor's kid rather than his. But it was sort of nice seeing it with the Cultaholic guys, just like just chilling there before they went to sort of the actual party where they got sort of to some extent blind drunk. But that's the stuff you really don't see from the Japan stuff, like the things that they do for their sponsors, which is sort of like Thanksgiving style meetings together.
Right.
Rather than, let's get hammered. Sort of like a more traditional, sort of respectful thing before they go crazy in the evening. Then we had the US title match. Juice Robinson as something.
He looked very much like Johnny Depp in Dark Shadows.
To some extent. Yeah.
A little Gary Oldman, maybe, in Dracula.
He was flamboyant, for sure.
He was wearing the WCW colors. Or the Minnesota Vikings colors. You want to get technical?
Yeah, no, it was the Minnesota Vikings versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, it was.
Because Cody and Brandy are just in bloody light blue. I think we know where they're going, even though we know they've already signed contracts.
Exactly.
By the way, we actually know that Brandy is brand ambassador now, as well as maybe some sort of wrestling performer for All Elite.
We don't know about a women's division for All Elite yet.
Well, we do, don't we?
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Britt Baker got signed. She ain't gonna go unless they do just go, yeah, we're doing intergender matches, deal with it.
And I'll be surprised if you see. Well, I don't know at this point because WWE is trying to lock up every woman that's not under a contract to a contract now.
What I am wondering is, I think I've got a feeling that Jordan Grace could be part of All Elite, but
I can
still
see that.
be able to do the Progress shows because Progress. I think they're realizing Progress can't, if they can't have the WWE talents on their show in any shape or form, then it restricts a lot the amount of people, and there's only so much new blood you can sort of bring in,
Right.
sort of do it. So maybe Jordan will be part of All Elite. She may just be in though, maybe as part of a paper, appearance sort of deal, rather than a strict contract.
See, Ashley, this is where I see that Impact needs to work with All Elite because then you could bring in a lot of the Impact women, the Knockout division, into All Elite, and that would help considerably because they're not under contract anywhere. So, like the name that comes to my mind immediately that I would think would sign with All Elite is Penelope Ford, but I think she's going to WWE.
She went to the WWE tryouts.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. She's already done the tryout, so I have a feeling they'll probably just take her.
And she apparently ditched bloody Janela as well.
Really?
According to Janela's tweet, saying how, his year ended by, being injured, not being able to wrestle on the LA Confidential show, and then losing his girl. I'm pretty sure it said that.
Interesting. Denjo is coming from Germany. He says, I'm glad that I woke up and I could start to watch it directly when I ate breakfast.
You're spoiled for choice anyway, sir. You've got WXW in your backyard. So I'm already jealous.
Cody and Juice was good.
Yeah.
Gave it a little bit under 9 minutes. A lot of back and forth.
Brutal where it needed to be.
Oh, yeah.
Because after all the shenanigans that Brandy was doing, because she sort of got involved. There was one spot when she literally lay on Cody where by default she would have won the US title if she was in the match. Yes. Then there was also a bit when she was in the ring and was sort of goading Juice into hitting her because obviously then DQ and whatever. And she even speared him.
Yep.
And then after this, and this is something that rarely happens in New Japan, Tiger Hattori ejected her.
Yep.
And then after the whole sort of mocking that they've done of him all the time, hand of God, then another hand of God, then another hand of God, then a pulp friction, pin him. Oh, wait, no. He's going to drag this next corpse up second Pulp Friction, and like, you know, as if to send a statement, as if to go, yeah, Cody's all elite. He ain't New Japan anymore. Brutal, but it did what it had to do. It established Juice
which is exactly what it needed to do.
as a power to be reckoned with, which I guess is what it never got the chance to do because Jay White was so lackluster.
Oh,
We
we'll talk about him later. No, it makes me think that if what they turned Juice Robinson into, what he has become, which is quite possibly one of the top baby faces in New Japan, easily one of their best promos, cursing or not, and someone the fans can really get behind. Somebody that is a great face of the United States division and somebody that has cross-brand appeal.
somebody that, by the sounds of it, is going to be in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Not over 2019.
So are we going to see U.S. title defenses in Ring of Honor? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because we've had Ring of Honor title defenses at Wrestle Kingdom.
Because if Ring of Honor and New Japan are collaborating, why would they collaborate with the competition?
What if it's not competition? What if it's all three? Let's gang up and take down Vince. New Japan, Ring of Honor, All Elite, Impact team together to take out WWE.
I don't know whether we can go that far.
Could you imagine the ramifications?
Let's take it one step at a time. Let's take it one step at a time. Let's not go into pipe dream territory just yet.
And of course, you want to let me take put on my my booking hat right now. If you want to talk about fantasy booking, you know who would be in charge of the television? Ted Turner.
No, for old time's sake, Dixie.
No, Ted Turner is the one who wanted to take out Vince originally and almost did. It'd be the superpowers of professional wrestling trying to take down the juggernaut that is WWE while
Who was
it's
the guy that was supposed to be bankrolling Jeff? I can't remember his name.
Toby Keith?
No. Oh, he's like Tony, and that he's a billionaire.
I don't recall off the top of my head.
The businessman.
I know you're talking about. I don't remember exactly who it was.
Yeah, I can't remember the name off the top of my. What if Tony and him collaborated? Then Vince could be in trouble.
All Elite Wrestling is basically is now confirmed as when you're playing EWR or Promotion Wars, you create this superpower promotion that comes down the global promotion that tries to take down everything and just keeps buying everybody.
But then in response to that, how much did Ring of Honor offer Bandido?
That's a good point.
For him to choose it ahead of All Elite or anything.
They also chose it ahead of WWE as well. Bandito was offered a WWE deal too, and he turned it down.
Who knows? What I do know is here's the next title to change hands.
Yep.
Kushida, who Ishimori was out first. It's more like a techno thing, and then out comes a kid with a 3D scanned head of Kushida on.
Yep.
But Don Callis was legit right in saying that's creepy. Because then here comes Doc Brown, Doc Taguchi Brown, saying that you need to go back. You need to go back to the back and then back to the future. And then a load of smoke goes up. And then Kid Kushida turns into huge Kushida, like normal Kushida. And buddy, Don Callis goes, "They exploded that boy."
Yep. That was funny.
We need more. We need more children fake exploding in anything.
Sanjay says that was creepy. I agree completely. We all do. I'm pretty sure.
The face was creepy, but it
Yeah.
was saved. It was goddamn saved by Callis going, "They blew up that child." Because I was like, they sort of did, which was why it was awesome. And then lo and behold, he lost. So fuel even more speculation that he's going somewhere. Maybe Stanford bound.
God, I don't know why that's such a good idea at this point. But like you said, Ashley, if he starts out in NXT, he
But
might
then
be
at the
able to
same,
be treated properly.
but then at the same time, it's always been his dream.
That's also true.
You know, just like it was with Nakamura. Okay, it didn't work out well with Nakamura because it started off brilliantly. You know, the NXT stuff, and then the slow build towards the Royal Rumble win, and
The
then the
match with
heel
Sami
turn,
Zayn, I'll never forget that one.
and the heel turn and everything,
Right.
and then the heel turn just stagnated because half the shows he wasn't doing, and now we're dropping the title. You know, it's like I still don't remember what the point was to that title reign. It's probably a little harsh, but I don't know. But yeah, a lot of technical stuff here as well, rather than sort of junior high flying stuff. A lot of submission and sort of working stuff.
Right.
But eventually it was double knees in the corner and a bloody cross that got the win. As I say, this all these title changes and what it means for who is and who isn't going, sort of thing, leaves it really intriguing as to the dash tomorrow.
I agree.
Sadly, we can't do a show for it, but it'll be something interesting to talk about on Monday if it turns out raw shit.
Well, I wonder.
Well, there's a lot of people coming on Raw, so it might be above average. Then we get to the triple. Well, it's double main event, but with this special match to some extent, triple.
Before you get started, you
Comment.
do realize Ishimori, of course, also joining the I work a big event for Impact, I work a big event for New Japan, and the same span of couple of months list. Don't want to
Was
forget
he
that.
part of Bound for Glory?
Oh, he works Slammiversary.
Yeah, that's ages ago.
I mean, still.
He hadn't. Yeah, but he really hasn't done anything since that.
No, but he worked July, and then in the month of January, he worked New Japan.
Yeah, but you thought he would have done more than that.
Yeah, but I'm talking about doing two big shows for two big companies in the span of 6 months.
So, first show of 2018, War Machine ran the Tokyo Dome.
This is true.
Last show of 2018, they run Madison Square Garden. They did just the same thing, except arguably on a more bigger scale, because
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I don't think bloody that tiny fucking venue where Slammiversary happened is on anywhere near the scale of the Tokyo Dome or Madison Square Garden.
No.
So yeah, Jay White and Trunky Okada. As if to really show you it's a new era. Okada got buried. Okada is John Cena to Jay White's Undertaker. That's a bad comparison, but whatever.
Oh God, no! Undertaker matches don't make me fall asleep, Ashley.
Well, they
I
didn't.
didn't. To be honest, I didn't watch
With
Crown Jewels. There you go.
respect, they didn't have much choice last year because the match only went like 2 minutes. Let's be honest. Undertaker hasn't had a great year
No.
in about 3 years. He's regressed so much because of his age.
And the match I was forced to set through wasn't helping either.
So what we're trying to say is Jay White is past his prime and should retire.
I like it.
It's an interesting move. It's clearly an indication that they're trying to do bigger and better things for Jay White. My issue is, are people going to connect with him as a heel?
I mean, he's got wins over Tana. He's got wins now, plural, over Okada, and he's got wins over Omega. That's the only thing you really can do is have him keep beating these top tier stars.
Yeah, but how many of them are going to be left?
That's the question.
Or I go to the dash.
And you got to think Jay White shows up and gets up in Tanahashi's face tomorrow. Has to. You don't beat Okada and then go on to face Naito for the Intercontinental title.
No. I guess the question is, I guess they pull the trigger on that then for New Beginning, quite literally. Maybe.
Possibly.
Because I don't feel that Jay White is on the level enough yet to be in the main event, at least at the MSG show.
No. Not unless you build him up considerably between now and then.
I don't know what you do for that. I guess the interesting thing with that, though, is because it is technically a New Japan show, although it's also technically a Ring of Honor show, that means Marty Scurll, I think, is winning the Ring of Honor World title at that show.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
But then again, what if All Elite Wrestling becomes the home of NWA?
NWA is another.
But then if NWA is collaborating with Ring of Honor for the Crockett Cup, that sort of throws that out the window.
Or does it? We don't know where everything lays right now.
Because there must be some sort of a relationship with Baron Corbin, Billy Corgan. And Cody that established itself from All In and all that. So
I'd say so.
I should be saying that Jay. I mean, there was a heck of a lot of finisher reversals with Okada hitting the Rainmaker, stupidly going for a second because Jay reversed it into a Blade Runner and got the win, sort of to some extent from out of nowhere.
If they want to build him, they're going to have to get these flash wins over a top established talent. Moving Jay White into the main event is what we're looking towards right now for 2019.
Clearly, but depending who stays and who goes. are there going to be enough credible names for him to beat?
I don't even know at this point.
For people to say, because well, the earliest we heard from like this time last year or so is that a lot of the talents were being purposefully signed to multi-year contracts because of the raid that WWE did with Nakamura and AJ and the Good Brothers back 3 years ago.
Right. You know, the funny thing about you say that, you bring up those 4 names. 3 years from now, all of those names, except for one, could potentially be back in New Japan.
Yeah, I can't wait for Luke Gallows to be heavyweight champion in WWE. Wee. And then we get into the co-main.
Oh, real quick, Denjo says, big head on a child's body is nightmare fuel. Talking about Cody doing it 2 years ago. That's what I was referring to, actually, Denjo. What if Wild Jericho appears and randomly attacks Tanahashi? Because reasons. So randomly, and I don't have any logic.
You know what?
Wouldn't shock
Even
me.
though the title wouldn't change hands, Jericho versus Tanahashi at the Garden.
That'd be good.
Sign me the fuck up. He's not on the level of an IC title. With the matches that he's brought out of Kenny and Naito over these past 2 Wrestle Kingdoms, he deserves a shot at the world title. Even if it's just one, and then he does all elite stuff.
Jericho challenging
He's
for the
counting down.
IWGP.
He's counting down to February 1st or something, isn't he?
Uh,
Hang on, which is that's a Friday. Oh God, is he going to be on the bloody tapings for Impact Wrestling?
I mean, I hope we'll get more information this week about what the ramifications of all elite wrestling really are. There's a lot of irons in the fire right now, you can tell.
There's a lot of rumor, speculation, and tomfoolery.
Well, I remember when Jericho came in and everybody looked at me like I had 2 heads when I thought Jericho was going to win. And they're like, no, he's not. I was like, yep, he's going to be a champion. And that's what happened. So why not give Jericho a run with the title? I'll tell you right now, I truly believe Tanahashi is going to be a transitional champion.
I don't know, with the sort of year that he's had coming back from the injuries and everything, and clearly changing his styles because he's not wrestling in the same way that he did. He's still doing the high fly flow and everything, right, but his sort of base work is a lot more different than it was, which he did credit to Shibata in the post match speech and all that.
I can't see him being.
I mean, just. I think Jericho is going to be doing something with New
He'll
Japan.
do something tomorrow.
Well, certainly tomorrow, but I'm saying I think he might even do something, as I say, for the G1 thing in MSG.
Why can't Jericho win the G1?
Hang on. I'm trying to see whether Fozzy are going on tour in or around July, or whether they're going to take a break. The only shows listed at the minute are May 18th in Camden, and then September the 14th in LA to be the what do they call it? What's the act that goes beyond the support act? There we go. They're going to be supporting Iron Maiden in September, but there's a mysterious giant gap between May and September. I wouldn't complain if Jericho wanted to do the G1. That's probably the last thing on the bucket list, other than a title shot.
So. Winning the G1, doing the G1 or winning the G1, and winning the IWGP Championship. Contending for it, actually having a match for it. He doesn't have to win. But
no,
if you want to sell out,
that curse has already been broken tonight.
Right. If you want to talk about somebody that could main event the Garden, Chris Jericho is a big name. Jericho Tanahashi.
A good match out of Tanahashi.
Yeah, Jericho Tanahashi.
I honestly don't think. I think Tanahashi will retain. They're going to do some title change with Tana before G1.
Yep.
In some shape or form.
And I don't know who Jay White puts the IWGP. I don't know who Jay White's going to put the IWGP Heavyweight title up against, though.
Yeah, but
I have someone in mind.
It's going to be Jay.
I think it will be, because I have someone in mind, but I don't know if they would pull the trigger or not.
After the classic that they had, I'd say, because he's been worthy of this for years, do the rematch with Tanahashi and Ibushi.
I was going to say Jericho, Tanahashi, and then Okada and Naito at the Garden.
Ooh. What, so... Oh, more WWE booking. You get punished by losing by getting a title shot.
And then Jay White puts the IWGP Heavyweight title up against the person that I think would be a really great person to lead New Japan in if they really wanted to pull the trigger on it.
Gato?
Juice Robinson.
Yeah, but he's already got the belt.
You take the U.S. title off of him.
2.
That's tough.
I guess Marty, maybe?
Potentially.
Then if Marty
actually, Adam Page makes more sense.
Yeah, but if Page is AEW and
Marty would be the U.S. champion and the Ring of Honor. So basically, Marty would be officially taking over Cody's spot.
What we need is Suzuki to we need Suzuki to beat Ibushi.
Okay.
Or sorry, Ospreay.
Ospreay.
And then we need Minoru Suzuki versus PCO at the Garden. Because that'd be legit crazy shit. I want that more than anything else.
Denjo says White versus Naito. He's the only one left that he needs to beat. But the thing is, if they're going to build, well, that's it. Jay White's already held a secondary championship. If they want to build him up, they don't. I guess they can have him keep going up, win the Intercontinental title, and then end up getting the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Maybe, but I still feel he's been a whole lot mismanaged from his time in Ring of Honor. There was a lot more potential for him before he went than showing up as he did.
He's not. He came in like a wrecking ball, literally, and next thing you know, it's just kind of like he tapered off. But they're still pushing him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his fault. He's doing what he can. It's just, it's not connecting.
I guess he just hasn't got that sort of maybe charisma that we've seen from him yet.
He needs a mouthpiece.
He's got one. He's got Okada's mouthpiece, and they're not using him.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to actually utilize it.
Taka Michinoku is a more effective bloody mouthpiece
Totally.
for Zack than Gato has been at all with Jay White.
That's the problem. Most fans aren't sold on Jay White because they haven't given us a reason to care.
Mm-hmm.
He's got victories, don't get me wrong, but when it all comes down to it, what has he really done to get us to care?
Prove us wrong at the dash.
Please.
Okay. Prove us wrong at the dash.
And let's talk about Broken Neck, the match.
Which one?
I'm talking about the greatest DDT at a table in the history of our sport.
Oh my God, yes.
Good God.
Naito and Jericho, where legit somebody did head planking.
Yep. Yeah, Naito planked and put a hole in the table.
Of which we found out in a later match that the reason why all these Japanese tables are actually breaking, they're made out of flipping cardboard.
Yeah, cardboard honeycomb.
We're using what is this world coming to that we're using cardboard tables? It's as if we're trying to put Matthew of Botchamania out of a job.
WWE's already trying to do that.
Exactly. Well, no, because they're still using Japanese tables. It says a lot that we live in a world where the Japanese tables that don't break aren't in Japan. They're in America.
Well, the funny thing is that I watch Botch Club, and I can only imagine what that would be if it was uncensored and not on the WWE network.
Oh, you
It'd
mean
be Botchamania.
if it was Talking Shop with Sex Ferguson?
That'd be a lot better.
Although if it wasn't, you wouldn't have had Big Show farting like that for no fucking reason.
That was stupid. Really good back and forth match. They beat the daylights out of each other.
It was no DQ. I'd say it was even better than the no DQ match that Jericho and Omega had last year.
I agree.
You know, Naito getting the upper hand early on by trying to do the early attack before Jericho could. Just nice little bits here and there telling the story, and all in all, really good. But then, you know, you'd expect it to deliver, in all honesty.
And of course, Destino wins clean on the second attempt.
Mm-hmm.
Right after Jericho made the cardinal mistake to try to use a belt shot and didn't work out. So Naito did it to him, turnabout is fair play, hit the Destino, and wins the match. And the title. Who is Tetsuya Naito's next challenger is the question.
Well, see, because everything had a title, then you've got to establish somebody to realistically, maybe Farley.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't know. I didn't think it made any sense.
Well, because of Bullet Club losing the majority of their titles to LIJ people,
right?
It's the only
Finish
thing that
fourth.
fits. Unless you get a new member of Bullet Club.
That might have to happen tomorrow.
If it's even called Bullet Club now, though. Or is it, the BC Warriors or whatever it is?
I mean, we'll have to see tomorrow. I think your challenger for Naito may end up being the person that joins the Bullet Club.
And then John Cena versus Sans the Skeleton from Undertale. Or more like Kid Icarus.
Yes, Kid Icarus. I love the psychology in this match.
Yeah, Kenny is the international guy that, is trying to prove that, it needs to be on international stage. And, it's interesting because Tanner's whole thing is, focus at home before you go international. And it's like, we already have. It's probably as big as it's going to be in Japan. Okay, it's not on the scale of, ages and ages ago, but whether that'll be solved by putting Tanahashi in there, it didn't really solve WWE with Cena.
No.
It's a short-term thing to sort of patch over the wound, if you want to call it that. But the fact that it's a new era and it's an 8-time bloody champion, it doesn't, it's not entirely, new era, same old shit, but the important thing is it really sort of flowed well. You had the storytelling. Omega kept going after Tanner's back. They wouldn't be able to do high fly flow. And Tanner kept going after Omega's legs and especially his knees to roll out as much V-trigger as possible and the one-winged angel, of which it is worth noting because it could be a plot point for any more stuff to happen.
Never happened.
The one-winged angel never happened.
Yep.
Just like it never did until Omega eventually won the title at Dominion. Well, actually, no, because he hit it on the G1 final with the third time they met, wasn't it?
Yes.
He never hit it in the 60-minute draw. He never hit it in the loss. He only hit it in the G1 match. So they've left it open there to possibly do something. God, would it be weird if they have the rematch between Kenny? They would it be stupid booking if they took the title off Kenny just to put it back on him for the G1 Super Show?
It depends on where he's going.
Part of me feels that All Elite might be the actual least likely of the three.
I honestly think WWE is the least
He's
likely.
either going to stick with New Japan for the clearly full-fledged expansion, apart from the teasers that they did last year,
Right.
or he's WWE bound.
He's not going to WWE. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, but if would stupid ass money sway him?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
If WWE is desperate enough and they're willing to pony up enough, you know, that's all I just wonder.
I mean, we'll find out real quick.
It's all about the checks and balances. So yeah, the fact that it went 4 hours is just weird. I was literally expecting a sort of early to mid afternoon show for us
Right.
to be talking about this, and then lo and behold, you know, it's already sort of 1:30 in the afternoon my time, and we've already finished talking about it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Partly I do, because at certain points it felt like a slog to get through
Mm-hmm.
these New Japan shows, and although some matches were rushed, it let the actual main events go on for as long as they needed to. They
I agree.
felt there was a lot of matches on this show that didn't feel like they were dragged out too long. They were either too short or just fit perfectly. You know, the 27 that you got for the pre-show was good because, you know, 30-minute sort of pre-show filler match, especially with the nature of it being a gauntlet match, makes sense. Near 20 for the opener with Ospreay and Ibushi fits. They probably rushed the junior tag match. The Sabre Ishii match could have easily gone longer, but it was the 11.5 minutes we got out of it was very nice. They, to some extent, rushed, I feel, the IWGP tag one as well. Juice and Cody, even though it went 9 minutes, that did feel like it went about right, in all honesty. Same for Taiji Ishimori at 11, because there was a lot of technical stuff in there, which normally can bog down a match too much. White and Okada going about 14 or 15 fit. Naito and Jericho going 22 made sense. And then Tanahashi and Omega being given about 40 minutes, 39, 40 minutes. Nothing really felt like it overstayed its welcome to me. It either understayed or was just right.
And too often when you watch WWE product, at least lately, it seems like a lot of things just like, okay, come on, go home, please.
Although it is worth noting them saying, oh, well, this is the longest match in the history of New Japan Wrestle Kingdom Tokyo Dome matches. And I'm going, Wrestle Kingdom 12 went 46 minutes. What are you talking about, Chris? And then afterwards, Tana thanked the friends, his fans, and Shibata for, you know, geeing him on, promising a new era. And despite being exhausted, still managed to do at least a little bit of air guitar. And I honestly don't know.
Lots of unanswered questions as we go into New Year's Dash tomorrow. We'll be talking about that on Monday night. Denjo says, biggest part I can remember in Jericho Naito was spit here, spit there. Too much spitting in this match. Tammy using the Styles Clash, meh.
I'm just looking at Jim Valley's tweet from up somewhere in the echelons. There's a few empty areas in the seats, like on the lower floor and the upper floor. But nearly all the other seats look full. So I think they quoted like 38,000 or so paid,
Right.
which obviously doesn't include however many comps that they might have given out as well. So it's, I don't know if it's setting brand new records, but records that haven't been broken in a while. Certainly. Got set tonight. Seeing if there's anything. If there's anything else that I can see from any other shots of the crowd that I can see. Oh, geez, Comrade Thompson was over there. That's worrying. Oh, I guess because if it's fight, I think Comrade must be some sort of bloody tie-in, mustn't he, for that? Oh, it looks as if Dave might have actually been in a box, so he might have been able to experience the Japanese commentary, not actually sit on the floor. That seems a bit sad. But we'll see what the reaction is from all the other people. It seems to be, a shit ton of positive stuff.
I haven't heard anybody that didn't like it, at least in part.
I know some people have said it went too short, which is like, wait, you normally complain about how long wrestling shows go, and yet you want a show to go long?
Yeah.
I get it, it's New Japan, but then at the same time, for some of you, it's fucked up your sleep patterns.
Well, I'm sick, so I understand.
No, but like for some people, it now actually gives them maybe a chance to get some sleep.
True.
And whatever. Because it's sort of like, if you sleep until midday, it gives you a few hours to get some extra kip and whatever. Rather than it dragging on to sort of like 1 or 2 in the after, or not, we're not 1 or 2 in the afternoon, but like 10 or 11.
Like, it's crazy because I know if you look at the topic of the title of the video, you'll see that the podcast is from the past. Because this is January 3rd, 2019.
Because last week was I'm trying to remember. 28. I know it was 2018. I've even forgot what I was talking about. Fucking hell. It just seems weird. I think it was probably a different point that I'm trying to make. It just seems weird that that it's all likelihood that WrestleMania is now going to be a longer show this year than Wrestle Kingdom. Especially when you take into account, that's what I remembered now. I was talking about last year. If you include the pre-show, even last year's show went 6 hours.
Yep.
And that includes the sort of razzmatazz of the speech at the end and whatever. And the majority of the pre-show, somewhere in the region of about 6 hours. So then if you add on the 30 minutes or so that you got for the pre-show match this year, add in sort of 5 to 10 minutes for the announcements of, the review of the year and then the announcements of what's to come in 2019 and 2020. and then the 4 hour, basically 4 hour show, because it sort of did finish at least with them cutting to Chono and all that, giving their thoughts at the end of the show. Basically at about the 7 o'clock mark your time, Owen.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Give or take. So yeah, it went less than 5 hours. We're going to have a 2 hour pre-show with 2 or 3 matches for WrestleMania, and at least a 4, maybe 5 hour main show from WWE. And yet you're going to complain about that, saying it's too long, despite the fact it's in or around the same area as where New Japan was. You can't really do double standards anymore in this day and age. If you don't like one, you can't like the other, in all honesty. But as I say, we'll see. The Dash is always intriguing, but with all the whole All Elite stuff and where people are going, I think the only one we can confirm is Marty isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
He's sticking with Ring of Honor. He's not part of All Elite. I think he's still part of the Elite and all that stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they incorporated the PCO stuff into being the Elite with Dr. Destro and all that. That'd be a little crazy. Because I still say the Elite is a group of friends. All Elite Wrestling is a wrestling company.
Right.
They're intertwined, but they are separate entities. I would argue so. The Dash has more meaning than it has in previous years. Probably the first time in a couple of years after the whole, AJ getting kicked out the Bullet Club and all that. And Nakamura being nowhere to be seen. This is where we get all the bloody gossip that bloody, just like a few years back, like the wrestlers have all gone up and said, by the way, we're leaving tomorrow. And all that gossip and rumor and all comes out. But it'll be probably in about 24 hours' time, we'll know maybe some of the fates of what's coming for All Elite, WWE, and New Japan. In the words of Satoru Iwata, please be excited. I think, is that us done?
I think that's done. Yes, that's the end.
Night today, do.
I want to thank everyone for joining us in live chat tonight or today. And for anybody that's watching us or listening to us right now, thank you.
POD, yeah.
Super early or super late, depending on where you are right now in the world or when you're watching this. But once again, we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We'll be back with more wrestling coverage on this network on Monday night for the Monday Wrestling Popcast as soon as Raw finishes. If you're new to the network, welcome. We do this shindig once a week, every week. We talk a little bit of everything. And if you are here for the other coverage we have on this network, given the fact that our first award show of the season is this Sunday, get ready for that because our post show for the Golden Globes podcast is actually going to be on Sunday night. So stay tuned.
I don't know what I'm gonna bloody do for. Actually, you're gonna have to get in contact with Aaron, even though he isn't gonna watch New Year's Dash, because we want his experience from it. Because I think that would be the first time he's ever seen a Wrestle Kingdom. I think
it would have been nice to have him on the show. I mean, we'll try to see if we can get him on for Monday. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, because I'm intrigued to see what he thought from a relative newbie's perspective.
Agreed.
But yeah, the Golden Globes content. Owen was partly joking that this would go on, that tonight's show would have gone so long that we'd have been able to talk about the PGAs, but then AJ
Well,
isn't here, so we couldn't.
we almost got there. A couple hours.
So yeah, we got that. AJ's got some stuff over the weekend, I believe, Owen.
Oh God, yes. We've got reviews. We've got verses. We're behind on verses, but verses will be up. Don't worry. And then AJ's got the weekend. Basically, is what I'm telling you right now. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is all AJ content in one way or another. Monday will be the replay of the Golden Globes Popcast, and then Tuesday will be our Wednesday Wrestling Popcast. And we'll probably kick into Snack Stash and Sip and Snack this week as well. We have our next set of award predictions to do very soon, so get ready for that. So that's going to be your show, and I want to thank everyone for watching tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight. Ashley, where can we find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter at AshesMyNameUK, where I'm probably going to be angry at Mr. Entertainment getting a bloody free way to watch Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, I did not even know about that.
That's why you should follow my Twitter, because then you know that I'm wanting to get a free Wrestle Kingdom thing as well.
I was on Twitter. I tried to win one as twice, and I didn't win. So.
I think all these American companies are biased at me because I'm not American. Sad face.
Oh boy. Follow me on Twitter at Sir Owen Disney, and check out our Facebook fan page at Popcast Network. So in the meantime, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more today you've chosen a podcast. I thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
They blew up that kid.